Hi folks, welcome back to Blackbeard's Detailed YouTube channel. Great, because this is my first vlog I'll be doing in my new unit. I'm not going to focus a lot on the new equipment and stuff like that I've got, because I'm going to create a separate vlog for that. But today I've got a rather awesome Mini John Cooper Works in, and the owner, again returning customer, is looking to get it brought right back to life again. Normally when the sun's hitting it, it's getting all the wash hazing marks, the polishing marks that came on it when it was basically released from factory. So just want to kind of clear down that noise and leave it an absolute perfect finish. So I'm going to crack on, I'm going to get the car all detoned, get it all prepped, get it in the unit, and then start the polishing. This was going to just be a soundless clip, take the wheels off to get them all prepped. This was just in on Monday, it's Wednesday now, this was in on Monday for a service. That's a lock and wheel nut. This is a rather large breaker bar. That should have came off absolutely no problem whatsoever. It's ridiculous, I still can't get that off by hand, and I've slightly loosened it. It's ridiculous. Way overtopped. These, I've not checked the manufacturer specs, I'm guessing they're going to be around 92 foot-pound torque. But yeah, wait till every one of them will be the same. Wait till you hear the shriek of the metal. That's overstressed, that's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Ah, it's an absolute pet hate. If you're going to do a job, do it right. So that's pretty much all the kind of dirty work been done on the car, the whole decon, alloys deep cleaned, done all the arches as well as you've seen. Engine bay was done during the wash phase, so before I start on the interior, time for a wee cheeky coffee and cake break. Yeah, there's been a lot of changes since the last vlog I done. Obviously most obvious is moving into a new unit. I'll jump over there, grab a wee seat and move into the camera. Yeah, so yeah, as I touched on, bit of a difference in here. For starters, it's about 2.5 times the size of the unit I was in. I'm able to get much more equipment in. I'm able to fit more cars in. So yeah, it was a whole load of work was done prior to me kind of opening. One of the most important things, I've got a fridge. How awesome is that? I can now have cold bottles of water and keep milk and stuff like that in there, and I could have stole the fridge in the old unit, but I hate things. I like everything having a place. As you've probably gathered, I have a slight case of OCD, so I like things having a place and that. So, which is one of the main reasons why I love this thing, because now everything has a wee home. I'm not looking for stuff, I'm not going in and searching through boxes to find things. Everything has its own drawer, so I know what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for a yellow pad or a blue pad, I know exactly where I'm going to find it. So yeah, it's much better set up, more professional looking. My new flooring as well, got all that from Duramat. Pretty easy to lay down. I did start from the opposite end. It says start from your entrance, but I started from there basically and worked back because it had to come in 2 shipments, and I wanted that section all done for when I'm down, so when I'm working in the cars and the ramps kind of touching the ground, that's protected. As you probably touched on in one of my previous vlogs, I've got a big thing about the floor. I hate having a tatty floor. I think it makes the place look really down. Your walls can be immaculate, the place can be tidy, but if your floors get paint peeling up, or just bare floors, you get dust and stuff coming up, and it doesn't look nice. So yeah, spent a bit of time to get that done, but the stuff's cracking, so yeah, certainly hit up Duramat if you're looking to get stuff like that done in your garage. Again, no, I never got anything free, nothing like that. It's all my own money I've spent in every single bit of equipment I've got. There will be reviews going on for pretty much everything, including my new blower. I've got new lights I've ordered from Unilight. The flooring, this storage thing, there's not a lot of kind of review videos on YouTube for the stuff, which kind of irritated me when I was looking to see what I was going to pick. So it might be good to do some of that and maybe help some people along if they're looking to make a decision on what equipment to buy. But again, it's just finding the hours in the day. But this wee Mini certainly looks cracking. The paint is beautiful colour, and I love the contrast between the blue and the red. So I'm going to get this all masked off and get it ready for the polishing phase after I get the interior done. Yeah, the paint wise, I'll show you in a wee minute after I finish my coffee. It's certainly looking mega swirly. There's no kind of buffer trailing and stuff like that I'm seeing, so it doesn't look as if it's been butchered before, so the paint should be nice and kind of ready to get a right good polishing on it, and it's look really good, just that lovely deep blue. So yeah, that's pretty much caught up really. There's not much else. Oh yeah, there is. I sold my truck, so my truck is away. For the main reason is I just get bored of it. It was a loud diesel. Economy was horrendous, which I knew before I got it, so I can't really let that, and I ran it for since about 4.5, 5 years or so. But yeah, I was getting like 22 to the gallon in it, kind of constantly, and I can. Sorry, yeah, the phone man there had labels ready to get collected at the printers, so I nipped up, picked up them and back down. So I'm going to get cracked on, get the interior done in this Mini, then get all the stuff masked off and get ready for polishing. Okay, I was in the middle of doing the interior there, and Fiona and Max popped in for lunch and a cup of coffee and stuff, so stopped the recording, got on with kind of some of the more quiet stuff while they were there. I can do so. The alloy wheels have been coated, they're going to get covered for when I start the kind of correction phase. The car's all been masked off, back of the tailpipes have all been polished back to nice silver shiny chrome. Interior has all been done, the engine bay has been dressed. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the condition of the car. Sides of it, there's a lot of kind of deep scratching and stuff like that, but again it's nothing that's going to cause too much concern. I've already done the paintwork condition report, i.e. the paint depth readings. They're sitting on average around about 110 microns, some going low as 80 microns along the front end. But I can't see any signs of it actually having been polished, so yeah, I'll just need to be kind of extra careful, extra vigilant when I'm polishing and correcting those bits, because they are heavily scratched and swirled. So yeah, I'll grab a camera and I'll get it front onto the car and you can see what the condition's like. Okay, so this is the car underneath the inspection lamp. As you can see, mega swirly. It's kind of deeper scratching areas there. Yeah, just those kind of sections in there. There's a couple of bits like that. Another sections around about there. Yeah, the whole car's just generally just swirled. As per usual, the piano black does not look piano blackish. Front end, this section here, just to the left of the stripe, is where the paint depth was really low. So again, some care and attention, some markings in on that. Again, front end, nice and swirled. So you can see the number plate section there. There's a noticeable difference in kind of gloss finish, but still super swirled. So it is. Yeah, there's again nothing's causing any great issues at all. Kind of deeper scratching again, just round about there. You can see there's another one there. Yeah, so good few hours of polishing up ahead. So I'm going to work out polish, pad, combo, and then maybe get started on the roof. There you go, this will give you an idea. So that door's not been done, the back panel has been done. So there we go, nice, clear and noisy, marked, etc. So I'm trying to avoid getting the shadow of the camera in. So quite a difference. So yeah, that's effectively the hard work of the polishing sorted out. So now just ensues the hours and hours of polishing. I'm two-staging this. First stage with the rotary and my selected polish and pads, and then the second stage with the DA to jewel and really get that metal flake to pop in that deep blue, and then of course the red on the top. There's a wee update. That section from there along has had its correction done on it. As you can see, beautiful, smooth, lovely paint, and then onto the swirly. So as touched on, got the polishing to finish today and the ceramic coatings. The so far progress has been the rear panel, passenger's door, this wee section of the wing, and this section has had its full correction done, so there's nothing left to get done on them. I'm going to do a side of the roof, mirror, pillar and back pillar now, and then move on to the front of the car and just kind of get my way around it. It's correcting up relatively well. Two passes they did with the rotary, and then a final pass with the DA and a finishing polish to really make that metal flake pop. Yeah, the paintwork's beautiful, nice deep blue, as you can see. Loads of nice contrasting black accents, especially as well with the red. So it's going to be an eye-catching thing once it's all done and finished. I've got a customer popping up to pick up some car cleaning supplies. He's just messaged me there, and yeah, good guy, because he's going to Tim Hortons as well and picked up a coffee on the way there again this morning. And my wee fridge hadn't shut over properly, so my milk had gone sour. So I can drink my coffee black right enough, so that's no issue, but yeah, I can't resist a wee Tim Hortons latte. So yeah, I'll continue with some of the vlogage beforehand. There's a wee section I'm going to do on it, and I'll kind of do a wee intro on it, but it's more to kind of help somebody out in the detail. Will Fiona made a question in relation to kind of rotary and DA and how quick are the breakdown polishes and stuff like that. So I'm going to do a wee quick kind of section on probably a nice big flat panel, so probably the driver's side door I'll do it on. But the rest of the kind of polishing stuff will probably focus on some of the wee kind of pernickety bits, and I'll blast through the rest of the stuff without having to move the camera around and set up the filming and stuff like that. Yeah, as you can hear, yeah, you can hear the nice grumble of a GTR outside, so that's the customer just arriving. So I shall see you later on. So this is just a comparison between how quickly a rotary versus a DA breaks down, and essentially the workable time on the polish. I'll be using Manzana HC Heavy Cut 400. It is a self-diminishing polish, which means when you start polishing, the polishing the granules, the abrasives are a lot bigger, and the more you use it, the quicker and finer it breaks down that polish into what's almost an oil-like substance on the surface of the paint. Now, neither of these surfaces yet have been polished. This side I'll use the rotary, this side I'll use the DA. I'll try and set them at an equivalent rotation, i.e. probably in the rotary speed setting 2, and on the DA it's probably going to be, because the DA runs in oscillations per minute, it's probably going to be around about speed set 3.5 to speed set 4. I'll be using Flex polishers. Flex are my kind of typical polishers of choice. Apologies for that phone, it never stops going and I forgot to put it on silent. This is the PA 142-150. Both of them will be using, for fairness, Shine Mate blue pads. So that is the rotary, and this is the DA, again Shine Mate blue pad on it. This is the XFE 715-150 Flex DA polisher. It's not a forced rotation, it's a free spinning rotation. So yeah, this will give you a rough idea of how long it takes for the rotary versus the DA to break down and polish. The rotary tends to do it a lot quicker because it's moving in the one axis. This spins and goes round in kind of figure of 8 and oscillates and spins at the same time as such. And the rotary goes round fixed centre axis point and goes round in a circle. That generates more cutting power because the cutting power is focused into that one rotation, that one circle, whereas the DA it's a lot safer to use because it spins and goes round. The rotary is my choice for the initial cut, the initial polishing phase. All my ceramic coatings basically get 2-stage corrections done on it, and 99% of the time hit the paint first time with the rotary and then bring that gelling effect, that lovely gloss metallic pop you get, and specifically the blue colour in this, right up to the surface whilst using the DA, because it's great for that, it's great for gelling. So I'll get cracked on. I'll set the timer on my watch before I do it, and again it's going to be kind of as best as I can. I'll try and keep the camera angle dead onto this so you can see the polishes and the polishers actually working. Set my timer and then I'll stop it to the point in which the polish gets to the end of its kind of usable cycle, i.e. the point in which it's so oily it's not actually doing any cutting at all, it's basically just allowing the pad to do what it is. Both pads have been blown out with the compressor. After every single time a panel is done, before the polisher gets put down, it gets blown out the compressor to get rid of any spent oil, any spent polish and clear coat that gets clogged up in the pores. The pads have been conditioned already, they have been used for the front wing section of the Mini. So both of the pads have been conditioned, they're good to go. Equal amount of polishes, 4 pea-sized drops on each one. The polish will be spread about the pad and the panel, and then I'll get cracked on. I'm waiting on somebody popping up for a quote at some point, so you may see me stopping and they're doing that. In fact, I think that might be it there. It's a McLaren and there's something definitely sounding with a, yeah, I think that's definitely it. So next time you see me, I shall start the process of it, and we'll see there. Yeah, that's thing. I don't know if you can hear that on the mic, but that sounds phenomenal. Anyway, I'll see you soon. There we go, that was about 3 minutes and 20 seconds of polishing, which was 4 passes, to the point in which the polish has started to reach its kind of point in which it's not really doing much anymore. Firstly because the pad starts to get saturated in oils, so the abrasiveness and the cutting ability of the pad's compromised, and the oils act as a kind of lubricant on the actual surface. So again, your kind of cutting power is massively diminished and you're not really drilling anymore. So I shall do exactly the same this time on this side of the roof, and then after I will pull the camera off and you can see the kind of 50-50 between doing a kind of rotary polish on one side and a DA polish on one side, using the polish to the point in which it's of no working use anymore, and you can see the kind of 50-50. That's at speed setting 4. I think that's been 4 passes done and the polish is still like mega on the surface on the pad, so I'm going to ramp the speed up in this, get a bit more cut, a bit more heat, and we'll see how it kind of deals on the end. But the polish at this moment in time has still got loads and loads of working time left in it. So that's approaching on 10 passes now. The pad itself not terribly hot. That was ramped up to speed just about 5.5. This goes up to 6. Not comfortable to work with for prolonged times. On the DA, a lot of vibration through it. Rotary's a pretty smooth machine. So what I'll do is I'll give this a wipe down. I'll then spray this entire panel with IPA, so there's definitely nothing on the bodywork. I'll do that in one continuous roll, and then I'll take the camera over and I'll show you the difference between the rotary finish and the DA finish. The DA took over twice as long as the rotary, so we'll be able to get an idea of the comparison. And even then, I would probably say there's still workable time on that polish. So we shall see the difference in the finish. Right away from the offset, you can see there's the finish of the rotary is taking away a lot more of the deeper stuff. In fact, the rotary kind of finish you're probably talking is around about the kind of probably about 80% correction, and then into the DA it's kind of similar, to be honest, but it's taken twice as long to get there, and there's still a bit of the deeper stuff left, especially around the edging. But yeah, so switch to a fresh cloth and IPA. Now jump round and grab the camera. There we go. So there's the side of the rotary, or sorry, the DA, still some deeper lines along, deeper scratching in amongst there. There's still some hazing, but that's just from it's just some polish there, and then onto the rotary. Again, it's just hazing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a brand new cloth and just give that a wee second wipe down. To be honest, sometimes heavy cut 400 can leave a wee bit of haze, so there we go. Difference, the rotary, it's needing a finishing polish just to remove some of the hazing, but we'll do that anyway. That wee line that you're seeing just there is just a reflection on one of the sections of the roof, and then in the section with the DA there's still deeper scratching up there and along there, and that section there, was the cut off point, the halfway point in the door, so you can see it pretty much changes. You can see deeper stuff right away. Those wee lines were pretty much all the way along. So yeah, the hopefully that answers kind of a couple of questions, the differences between the kind of DA, the rotary, why the rotary goes through the polish a bit quicker, you get so much more cutting power. Yes, that section will need refined with the DA. You could refine it with the rotary, lower speed, less aggressive polish, but it's just the combination I like using. So yeah, that will just bring that right back into a perfect kind of flawless finish. All the deeper stuff's been removed, and that hazing will get removed with the dualling effect. And then with the DA, you would need to hit that another probably 2-3 times to get that to that same level. So yeah, the combination of using the rotary and the DA is going to be so much quicker. Hopefully that's answered your question. If it's not, let me know and I'll try and think of another kind of way of doing it. Maybe with a different panel, different colour, something like that, and yeah, think of a different way of getting through it. But the rotary just cuts through the paint so much quicker, of your clear coat so much quicker, and by doing so just uses the polish up, the actual workable polish time. So if it had continued running with that, it'd be the stage where the oils that are sitting on it, they're doing nothing. All it's doing is rubbing oil on the contamination and the oils which are stuck in your pad, and at that point you're not actually polishing anything at all. So that's why you're doing less passes with your rotary, and why you need to do so much more passes with your DA to get to that same thing, because it's a much safer and less aggressive option, but it adds so much more time on, which as a professional that's not ideal, because you look for that strike between getting that perfect finish and being able to do it in a time efficient manner. So hopefully that's answered some questions. If not, hit me up and I'll try and help you a wee bit more. Thank you. Well, that was a late one last night. After the quote went away with the van, I had another person pop up as well, so time started kind of playing against me. The rest of the polishing got finished last night. It was just the driver's side door, the rear wing, the rear boot face, and then the coatings went on last night as well. They pulled the car round, done like an Austin Powers 14 million point turn, got the car, nose out, tyre dressing on. I've since applied the Blackbeard's detailing, the Yo-Ho-Ho ceramic detailer on the top, just to give the coating a wee bit added protection while it's in the initial curing phase. The weather cured at this moment in time, and the only thing I've got to do is just go around the windows, and that is it, done, ready for the customer to collect. Again, thanks very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to cover. There's a lot of stuff upcoming on the channel. A lot of exciting things taking place with the Mayhem Run, trip up to Aberdeen, supercars, track days, all that stuff is all going to be getting filmed and popped up on vlogs. So yeah, a lot of different kind of content. There's going to be a kind of car chat channel going to be getting released as well, as soon as kind of social distancing eases up a touch. Can't really have people in for a cup of coffee and a chat about a car and stuff when there's social distancing that we get to take place. So as soon as that's easing up, and when guidelines allow, we'll get that sorted. I've already got a couple of people on the list, wanting to the first few people up there. Next vlog we'll be doing is probably going to be covering my new studio and some of the new equipment I've bought, do a couple of reviews, stuff like that. But yeah, stay tuned, and again, thanks very much for watching. We'll get a couple of beauty shots of this spectacular mini up, and yeah, take care everyone, stay safe, and thank you for watching, bye.